Hey everybody, David H. 98F150 here, and today we're talking about edge banding, and in this case custom edge banding for a project that I'm working on. Now oftentimes you have some plywood. In this case these are going to be drawer fronts for this cabinet that I'm making here, and I've been just using scrap plywood to build these drawer fronts that I've had so that I can save some money. Now this is pre-finished plywood and there isn't any edge banding available for this. Now what I did is not something that could be done with big projects, but rather smaller projects like this drawer front. What I did is to take the scraps that I had of the plywood that I wanted to make the drawer fronts from and use my table saw to make even 7/8 inch wide scores on the plywood that I was going to be able to use on my bandsaw to skim off to make these strips. It says, as you'll see, these exactly match the pieces that were cut out. And so I wind up with strips that are about 1/16 of an inch thick and that I can then lay on the edge of the drawer front. I will have to trim them down to make it match, and I'm going to wind up having to use wood glue to be able to attach these. And I'll take you through that process. One of the first things that I do is to raise the height of the table saw just a little bit, about 1/8 of an inch. In this case I'm using this stick as sort of a guideline because all I really want to do is to make a score across the piece of wood that I'm going to be making the strips from. Okay, my next step is to move my table saw fence in. And again, here I am using the stick as sort of a guide for how wide I want this cut to be. It actually happens to be the same width as the strips that I want to cut. So I'm just making sure this is a relatively smooth fit, getting it tightened down. Now when I make these cuts, I obviously do one side and then I'll flip it over and do the other side, and then take and move the fence another 7/8 of an inch and make another score along both sides. The next step happens here at the bandsaw. And with this, I'm going to be using this sample piece of wood to show you how I make the cut. But all I'm trying to do is to get a thin strip right here along the edge. And this is how I do it. So with a fence guide here in so that I have just about 1/16 of an inch clearance. And once I've got that set, I can then run my piece through. So now what I have here are a little bit over width, which is what I wanted. Perfect strips for my edge banding. Now to glue these strips up, I've used a couple scrap pieces of end plywood, and then what I plan to do is to put glue along this facing strip and along the side of the panel. Drop that in. And for efficiency, I'm going to be able to glue 2 strips at once by applying glue here, putting these side in, and then taking the backing strip and putting it right here. From that standpoint, all I need to do is to apply pressure equally along this, making sure that all my edges are aligned. And then trim off the excess when the glue is finished drying. Well, okay everybody, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the content. Once again, please make sure to click on the like button if you did. And please feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section and subscribe to the channel. Once again, have a good evening. Hope you all are staying safe. Hope you all have a pleasant holiday season.